Live with studios in Midland and Odessa, you're watching CBS7 First Alert News at 9 on the CW West
It doesn't
Texas.
have to be a grand gesture or a huge amount of time. It can be just what you can afford and what you, as time and treasure-wise, to help out our neighbors here in West Texas.
If you want to give back this season but don't have much to spare, you can always give your time. In just a few minutes, we'll tell you how you can help out some of the nonprofits here in the Permian Basin. Good evening to you, and thanks so much for joining us tonight at 9, and thanks for joining us on the CBS7 YouTube channel. We're going to start tonight tracking crime. This morning, Odessa police were notified that one of the light fixtures at Starbright Village was vandalized. To prevent the incident from happening again, the city is looking to install security cameras at each park. The accident to one of the light displays cost the city nearly $150,000 in damages to fix the fence and the light display, which of course takes away from other city projects.
You know, we're going to have to do something with that piece, whether it be replacing it by buying a new one. A lot of times they allow us to send it back in to get it refurbished and fixed, but it'll take out of our budget to get those repairs.
Anyone with information about the incident is encouraged to contact the Odessa Police Department or Odessa Crime Stoppers at 333-TIPS. The Starbright Village tree lighting takes place December 7th at 6 p.m. Starbright Village will run until January 1st. Yesterday, the Midland County Sheriff's Office SWAT team worked with multiple agencies executing and arresting someone in the 800 block of Howard Drive in Midland. MCSO arrested 41-year-old Cesario Reyes for engaging in sexual intercourse with a child under 14 on a warrant issued out of Seward County in Kansas. 40-year-old Mayra Magallanes was arrested for interference with public duties of a peace officer. Both were transported and booked to Midland County Central Detention Center. Republican candidate Steven Villela filed to run against Midland County Commissioner Luis Sanchez for Precinct 3. Villela is a native Midlander and attended MISD from kindergarten through high school and then attended Midland College. He started his first business at 17 while in high school, selling snow cones. Now he wants to help Midlanders build businesses while also maintaining a good relationship with the community.
So we need to help and communicate with local businesses and residents on how we're doing projects and ensure that we're serving them, not just doing a project, but we actually do it correctly to serve the people that will be utilizing it.
He says if elected, he wants to focus on things like roads, water contamination, being proactive, and working to fix issues as soon as possible. Some of his other priorities, he says, include funding first responders, investing in Midland's business community, and keeping taxes low. Time to mark your calendars. The Commission on Presidential Debates announced the 3 dates and locations of the 24 presidential debates. The first one will be September 16th at Texas State University in San Marcos, Texas. The second will be at Virginia State University in Petersburg, Virginia on October 1st. That'll mark the first time a historically black college or university will host a general election debate. And the third and final debate will take place a week later on October 9th at the University of Utah in Salt Lake City. The commission also announced the one and only vice presidential debate will be on September 25th at Lafayette College in Easton, Pennsylvania. Details about the moderators and formats will be announced next year. Time to talk your weather forecast and your Thanksgiving forecast. Let's check in with meteorologist Justin Lopez. Justin.
Hey there, West Texas. It's going to be a cold night tonight as we're going to deep down into the 30s. But right now, this is what's actually going to cause that drop. The fact that we have some clear skies in our area across Texas and also some northerly winds. As you can see, basically any cloud coverage that we had across the state has kind of made its way off the coast of Texas, off toward the Gulf of Mexico. Looking at our temperatures right now across the area, Odessa is looking at a temperature of 45 degrees right now, Midland same as well. And then 47 degrees in Pecos, 41 degrees in Fort Davis, and then it's already starting to get down to the 30s right there in Alpine with a temperature of 39 degrees. Looking at our winds across the area, we are seeing a little bit more calmer conditions than what we had earlier today. 6 miles per hour in Odessa, calm out there in Pecos. Later tonight, we're expecting those temperatures to taper on down to the 30s by 3 in the morning. And then our temperatures are expected to warm up, luckily, tomorrow and for your Thanksgiving holiday.
As temperatures do drop, many West Texans struggle to stay warm. That's why Chief Meteorologist Tom Teeferteller hosts a coat drive, and we're looking for gently used or new jackets. You can donate them at the locations listed there on your screen. This holiday season, a small gesture can go a long way. The time is marked by food, family, and friends. But for some, those resources aren't available, and that's where nonprofits often step in. As the holiday season kicks off, they're looking for your support. While gift and food drives and other volunteering and donation opportunities are great, nonprofits say even small efforts are meaningful. West Texans can do something as simple as coming to a Thanksgiving or Christmas meal to eat and speak with Midland Salvation Army patrons. Showing you care is just as valuable. Michael Gutierrez, now a cadet for the nonprofit, knows this firsthand as he spent the holidays in the adult rehabilitation program 8 years ago.
Yeah, I felt love. You know, they provided me with a gift, they provided me with a meal, and they provided me with, most of all, with a family of love, surrounded me with love and joy, and it was great. I'll be forever grateful for that, yes.
The Salvation Armies in Midland and Odessa are hosting angel trees to fulfill Christmas wishes for families, and they also need volunteers to ring bells and collect donations. The West Texas Food Bank looking for food donations and volunteers as their high need continues in 19 West Texas counties. Speaking of nonprofits, tonight Idle Hands Ministries and the Permian Warrior Partnership got together to feed seniors in the community. The event was held at West Ridge Senior Apartments, and seniors there were treated to a meal of turkey, ham, mashed potatoes, stuffing, green bean casserole, and all the pies you could imagine. Tonight they fed about 60 people. Idle Hands Ministry is a recovery group based out of Midland, and they're always looking for ways to give back and get involved.
It's something awesome to be able to sit down and eat with somebody that you don't know, somebody that you're never going to be able to return the favor for. The honor's on both sides. It's good for us. It feels good for us. We like to sit down and talk with the residents, see what they're here, what brought them to Midland, and just let them know that there's always family here. Even if you don't have direct family, Idle Hands Ministries, we believe that everybody we come in contact with is your family. So we like to reach out, sit down with them, have a good meal, have a good time, and have some conversation with them.
Idle Hands is also hosting a toy drive for the holiday season. If you'd like to donate, you can take donations to the north corner of Crestview Baptist Church in Midland. For more information, you can go to their website, idlehandsministries.com. For anyone who lives in Midland, here's an update. All offices, including MLK Junior Community Center, Midland Health Services, and Midland Animal Services will close tomorrow at 2. Midland Animal Services will reopen on Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., but all other office hours will resume Monday, the 27th. The city also has phone numbers you can call for both emergency and non-emergency issues. We'll have those up on our website with all the information. City of Odessa, same thing. All city offices close Thanksgiving and Black Friday, and the Odessa Animal Shelter will close tomorrow at 2 p.m. ECISD schools are closed all week, and ECISD offices will be closed Wednesday through Friday. We have the full list of closures and times on our website, CBS7.com. Mark your calendars. We're broadcasting the City of Midland tree lighting live Tuesday, November 28th. Join us at 6 o'clock for the celebration. It's the most wonderful time of the year. That's at least how the song goes, but a new survey finds Americans are feeling the strain from inflation and national and world affairs, as well as rising respiratory illnesses. CBS's Dina Demetrius shares some expert tips on how to tamp down the holiday stress and increase the joy.
If the hustle and bustle wasn't enough to stress you out during the holidays,
we feel the holiday or the idea of holiday will be probably in the spring.
A new survey from the Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center finds Americans are feeling additional strain this year.
Inflation is an insane stress right now. I mean, everything is way more expensive.
There's a lot of negativity going on, not just here, but just all around.
81% cited national issues and world affairs. 3/4 are feeling the strain of rising prices and holiday spending. 53% are stressed about respiratory illnesses. Even the memory of last year's travel meltdown is weighing on people.
We weren't surprised to hear some of the things that people are very stressed about.
Dr. Nicole Hollingshead is a psychologist at the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center.
If you're finding that your mood is off, you're more irritated, and it's really impacting your ability to concentrate as well. Those might be signs that the stress is above and beyond what we would expect to be more of the normal holiday stress.
Experts say focus on what you can control and make time this busy season to recharge and connect with family and friends.
I like to do meditation, pray, practice Tai Chi, walk.
I keep a small circle. They have a lot of positivity.
And in this season of expectation, perfection is unnecessary.
Take a deep breath, drop your shoulders, be present. Your loved ones will enjoy being with you just because it's you.
Some strategies to last all year long. Dina Demetrius, CBS News, Pasadena.
If you're concerned all this merrymaking will throw you off your diet or fitness goals, Dr. Hollingshead suggests building in time for a family hike or movement you can all do together. A storm system pushing across the eastern U.S. could cripple Thanksgiving travel for millions. Heavy rain could pummel parts of southern Alabama all the way up to New York. Areas further north could see snow. Jen Sullivan has more on how the severe weather could impact your travel plans.
Millions of Americans are under the threat of severe weather, just as travelers set off to celebrate Thanksgiving. Strong thunderstorms, heavy downpours, damaging winds, and even snow could spoil your Thanksgiving travel plans.
We're expecting 1 to 2 inches of rain.
New York City bracing for possible flooding Tuesday night. A travel advisory is in effect through Wednesday morning. It's part of a powerful system that's moving east, impacting at least 24 states, and could disrupt air travel in large hubs like New York, Atlanta, Boston, and Washington, D.C.
The FAA's command center, as usual, is working closely with airlines to plan for and plan around any disruptive weather.
AAA estimates more than 55 million Americans will travel this week. It's expected to be one of the busiest Thanksgiving travel periods in years. Passengers bracing for the chaos.
I didn't know what to expect because travel here is always so crazy. Boarding pass?
The Transportation Security Administration warning passengers to arrive early.
I have exactly 2 hours to go to the checkpoint, get some breakfast, and go on dine.
Others simply packing a positive attitude.
Take it easy, be calm, things happen, don't stress about it.
The good news, by Thanksgiving Day, much of the central and eastern U.S. will see dry conditions. And that's something to be thankful for. I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
Still ahead, we're telling you what we've learned about an agreement to free hostages held by Hamas. The details are up next. Israel has approved a proposed deal for a temporary ceasefire in the war with Hamas. in exchange for the release of hostages captured in Israel on October 7th. CBS News correspondent Natalie Brand is in Washington with the very latest.
With a deal emerging to free some of the hostages held in Gaza, Israeli families are praying their loved ones will soon see the light of day once again. Israel says the government approved the outline of a plan that would initially free at least 50 hostages, women and children, over 4 days. During that time, Israel says a pause in the fighting will be held. It said the release of every additional 10 hostages will result in 1 additional day in the pause.
The Biden administration says it's been working hour by hour. 10 Americans, including a 3-year-old, are among the more than 200 hostages taken during the October 7th terror attacks.
We've been working on this intensively for weeks, as you all know. I've spoken recently about it with both the Prime Minister Netanyahu and the Amir Qatar. My team has been in the region shuttling between capitals.
Meanwhile, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu vows Israel would press ahead with the war until it destroys Hamas's military capabilities and returns all the hostages. Israel says it wants to ensure there will be no new threat from Gaza after the October 7th terror attacks. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
If the hostages are released, the relief group Red Crescent would take them from Hamas and hand them over to Israel's military. A U.S. official said they will need immediate medical attention because they've been held in, quote, abhorrent conditions.
And a cold night is ahead of us, but we are going to start to warm up a little bit starting tomorrow. Coming up, we'll talk about how things are looking for your Thanksgiving holiday.
Now, from the CBS7 First Alert Weather Center, here's meteorologist Justin Lopez.
Good evening, West Texas. We have a cold, calm, and clear night ahead of us. As we start off looking at our satellite and radar across our area, you see there's really not too much going on in terms of actual weather. We do have some cooler temperatures in the Panhandle, 39 degrees, and in Lubbock, 42, and Amarillo, 41, in Odessa, Midland. This is because we don't really have those clouds, so that all that heat that we did get from the day is now able to just kind of radiate upward back to space. Corpus Christi is looking at a temperature of 57 degrees right now. Brownsville at 63 as one of our warm spots across the state. Looking at our temperatures a little closer to home, temperature is currently sitting at 45 degrees here in Odessa, and Midland the same as well. 47 in Pecos, 42 in Zaragoza, and then Fort Davis is a little colder already, and seeing those 30s out there in Fort Davis, Marfa, and Alpine. And looking at our winds across the region, relatively calm conditions all across the area. Calm conditions out there in Fort Davis, Fort Stockton, Pecos, 6 miles per hour here in Odessa, 3 in Midland. So those calm winds are going to allow us to really not see much of anything in terms of cloud coverage overnight. And finally, we do get to see a couple of clouds start to roll in by around tomorrow night and tomorrow morning. However, us over here in the Permian Basin are looking to stay clear up until that point. This all because we still have that northerly flow from the jet stream in the upper levels, kind of killing out any clouds that are trying to develop at the moment. So for the rest of this evening, we're going to expect the temperatures to finally hit the 30s by around 2 to 3 in the morning. Be around 36 degrees by 5. Winds will be out of the northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And tomorrow, we're going to see a lot of 60s in our forecast. 61 degrees for pretty much the entirety of our area, except for Alpine, where they'll be at 57 degrees as their high, and Presidio with the high of 62. Otherwise, it's going to be a cold night. A lot of areas might see a couple of freezing conditions. Pecos with 30 degrees. Midland, Odessa, we're expecting to reach down tonight into the mid-30s, low to mid-30s. So it will be a cold one. Make sure you grab a jacket as you're heading outside tomorrow. But luckily, we are going to be seeing some warmer conditions. By Thanksgiving, we should be in the 60s. Again, it will be another cold morning, Thursday morning. But the real cold comes in on Saturday and Sunday whenever a cold front makes its way into our area.
Still ahead, the largest DOJ settlement in history after the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange pled guilty to money laundering. The details are up next. The Department of Justice is throwing the book at the world's largest cryptocurrency company. They're accusing Binance of willfully skirting U.S. laws and regulations in order to maximize profit. Tuesday, CEO Changpeng Zhao pled guilty to federal anti-money laundering charges. U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland says the company put up an elaborate front pretending to comply with U.S. law. Instead, they allowed money laundering, including to international terrorist groups. As part of the plea deal, the company will have to pay over $4 billion to the U.S. government. It is the largest DOJ settlement in history.
The message here should be clear. Using new technology to break the law does not make you a disruptor. It makes you a criminal.
Zhao has agreed to step down as the company's CEO, faces a maximum of 10 years behind bars for his crimes. Sentencing could be as early as February. Still ahead, once Thanksgiving is over, it's time to start sending those letters to Santa. We've got the address, where to send them, up next. Operation Santa is already underway at the U.S. Postal Service. This week marks the earliest kickoff ever for the 111-year-old program. It helps ensure children's letters to Santa make it to elves and human helpers who assist with gifts. To participate, kids need to use their full name, a return address, a stamp, and Santa's correct address. The Postal Service says that is 123 Elf Road, North Pole 88888. If you want to help Santa and his elves with the child's letter, you can check out the USPS website. All right, I have to be honest, Justin. I know that when I was little, I wrote letters to Santa, but I don't think my mom ever actually mailed any of the letters.
I know, I'm pretty sure.
I think she was lying to me about that.
Yeah, I know my parents would tell me, hey, write a letter to Santa so you can tell him what you want. And I'm pretty sure someone else was in control of who.
Yeah, they kept that for themselves.
Yeah,
That's no
I'm pretty
fair.
Sure. Well,
pretty cute.
Luckily, though, we are going to be receiving pretty nice gifts this Thanksgiving holiday, as our temperatures are going to be starting to warm up a little bit. 62 degrees on the high for Thursday.
Just a little bit cooler at the beginning of next week, but it's okay.
Yeah, of course. Who can complain about that?
All right, thanks so much for watching us here at 9 o'clock. We've got more news coming up at 10.